one, the graph of modulus function. Modulus function is represented by fx is equal to mod of x. Achha, before we discuss this function, what is the value of mod of 2? Mod of 2. Modulus function 2. 2. Mod of minus 2. 2. That is whether it is mod of 2 or mod of minus 2. It is equal to 2. So what will be mod of x? No. This is wrong. See, because for 2 and minus 2, we were aware of the value. So that is why mod of 2, because it was positive, so we removed the sign. It came out to be 2. Mod of minus 2. Mod of minus 2, it became 2 because we used a negative sign to open mod sign, and that is why it became negative 2. That is, whenever there is a positive value inside the mod, we simply remove the mod sign. That is, we can simply say that mod of x will be equal to x if the internal value is positive, and if the internal value is negative, then it should be negative of the internal value, because negative sorry will make positive. Two negatives make one positive. तो कोई अगर आपको नेगेटिव बोले तो इसका मतलब मीनिंग आप नेगेटिव उल्टा बोल दो. समझ रहे हो आप? I'll get back to you on this particular topic. And there's a reason. Now look carefully for it. So we can have two definitions of mod x. It will be equal to minus x if x is less than 0. If it is negative, to open mod sign. And it will be equal to x if x is greater than or equal to 0. If it is positive, then we simply remove the mod sign. So let's take fx is equal to y. And in case 1, let's take only those values for which x is less than 0. Now, if x is less than 0, what will be the value of y? Minus x or plus x? This will be equal to minus x. Now, we give different values to x, we'll get different values of y. Now, you people tell me what should we write in place of x? Actually, we are facing a power cut. So, what should be the value of x? Minus 1. Can't we take 1? No, we cannot raise it because x is less than 0. So when it is minus 1, it will be equal to minus 1, 1. When it is equal to minus 2, it will be equal to 2. Right? Any doubt? Case 2, when x is greater than or equal to 0, then in this case, y will be equal to straight away x. So x, y. When x is 0, y will be equal to 0. When x is 1, y will be equal to 1. Now just the graph of this. Just one more graph after this. Look. For this one, x is minus 1, y equal to 1. X minus 1, y 1. X minus 2, y 2. X minus 2, y 2. Shall we, that is, make a filled circle or empty circle at 0? For this one, x is less than 0. Empty. Why empty? Equal to sign is not there. 0 is not included. So, empty circle over here. Am I justified when I'm making almost a straight line here? So am I justified making a straight line here? What's the reason for making a straight line? Linear part. What did you say? नहीं, हम ऐसे curve भी तो बना सकते थे ना? We are not making curve because it is a linear function. Highest power of the variable is 1. Now, when x is equal to 0, y will be equal to 0. Now it will be included. When x is equal to 1, y will also be equal to 1. So in this case, it will be a straight line over here. Is it clear? So one thing that can be easily concluded that graph of modulus function is a V-shaped graph. A few देखो graph से ही ना हम बहुत सारी that is we can draw many conclusions by the help of the graph. जैसे अगर आप एक चीज notice करो तो there is no अच्छा उससे पहले आप एक चीज बताओ y is fx or x? Definitely fx. So as you can see that there is not even a single point which is on the negative direction of y-axis, right? जितने भी points है maximum जो lowest point जो इस graph में है, that is at 0. So this means that the minimum value of mod x is 0. It cannot come beyond 0. Is it clear? Mod x cannot be less than 0. So minimum value is equal to 0. Right, this thing, and this is the graph which is always above x-axis. It can never come below x-axis. Right? Are these things clear? The most important thing that we should understand by the help of the graph is to find out the minimum or the maximum value of the function. जैसे यहाँ पर हम देख सकते हैं the minimum value of this function is 0 and maximum infinity. शाबाश. Clear to all? Minus infinity or plus infinity? Minus infinity or plus infinity? Plus infinity. It can be never minus infinity because in that case it would be below x. X can be minus infinity, but not the value of the function. Make it up. Just means light आ गए बेटे. Light आ गए. Done. This is going to be very, very important, and not just for this particular topic, not just for functions. There is a topic which is by the name limit. There's a topic which is by the name continuity. There is a topic which is by the name differentiability. So तीनों topics में ये particular function use होगा. है बहुत simple आ रहा है, easily समझ में आ जाएगा first time, और आपके तो definitely आ रहा है, तो समझ. Now look, GIF. ये तो करते रहते हो सुबह शाम आप. सुबह उठते सबसे पहले फैमिली वाले ग्रुप में यही चलता है आपको गुड मॉर्निंग. So GIF is not that GIF that you send regularly morning messages. GIF over here stands for greatest integer function. What do we call it? Greatest integer function. The symbol that we use for greatest integer function is x enclosed within square brackets. In some of the books, you will also find symbols like this. So this also represents the greatest integer function. So most common representation is this one. So we use this greatest integer function. Now one simple thing, if we remember about the greatest integer function, it will be easy for us to evaluate any GIF. It is the resultant of the greatest integer function is the Mr. Noida. The resultant of the greatest integer function is the nearest integer towards left. This simply means जो भी स्क्वायर रूट के अंदर है उसको आप नंबर लाइन पर इमेजिन करो, उसके जस्ट लेफ्ट में, राइट, उसके जस्ट लेफ्ट में जो भी वैल्यू होगी, जो भी इंटीजर होगा, दैट विल बी द सॉल्यूशन, राइट, जो भी उसके लेफ्ट में इंटीजर होगा, दैट विल बी द सॉल्यूशन. Look for these examples first of all. Like greatest integer function of 1.2. Imagine 1.2 on the number line. What will be the number on the left of it? That will be 1. Imagine 1.9 on the number line. What will be the nearest greatest integer? 2. Very good. That's completely wrong because the correct answer is 1. We need to always go towards left. यहाँ आसान खेल नहीं है कि जहां पास मिल रहा है इंटीजर भी वहां चले गए. What did I say in the beginning? That you need to towards the left. And that is imagine the number inside these square brackets on the number line, and then whichever integer is on the left, that will be the solution, right? Minus 3.4. Minus 4 or minus 3? Correct answer is minus 4 only, because obviously minus 3 will be on the right. आप minus 3 सोच रहे थे क्या? देखो, minus 3 minus 4, minus 3.4 will be over here, है ना? यहीं पर तो आएगा. फिर कहाँ आएगा? This is minus 4, this is minus 3. Minus 3.4 will be overhead. इसके लेफ्ट में minus 4, right? तो ये पता होना चाहिए जो स्मॉलर वाले नंबर है वो टुवर्ड्स लेफ्ट आते हैं. Minus 8.9 माइनस. आई होप अब सबको क्लियर हो गया, अब तो कोई मिस्टेक नहीं करने वाला. देखो आप 1. Answer will be 1 because this value is itself an integer. So nearest integer to 1 will be 1. So resultant will be. आप नहीं समझे. What did I say? You need to imagine that number on the number line and whichever integer is towards left on the left of it, nearest integer. Here the distance between 1 and say for example 0. Imagine 1 on the number line, obviously over here. Now the nearest integer towards left is 1 itself because this is an integral value. That is why the answer will be 1. Clear now? ये तो कोई भी आंसर नहीं कर पाएगा. Minus 3. Sure. और आप श्योर हो ना? Clear to all? जल्दी से नोट करो इसको, फिर then we'll draw the graph. Let fx is equal to 1. Now case 1. When x is greater than equal to 2 but less than 3. Any value between starting from 2 and just before 3. What will be the value of y? That will be equal to 2. Case 2. When x is greater than equal to 1 but less than 2. What will be the value of y? When x is greater than equal to 0 but less than 1. When x is greater than equal to minus 1 but less than 0. This will be minus 1. When x is greater than equal to minus 2 but less than minus 1. Y will be equal to minus 2. Any doubt in this? Now look, between 2 to 3. That is when x is between 2 to 3, value of y is 2. Between 2 to 3, value of y is 2. Between 2 to 3, value of y is 2 over here. 2 will be included and 3 will be excluded. So filled circle at 2 and an empty circle at 3. Right? अभी नहीं समझ आया. Next वाले से crystal clear हो जाएगा. Between 1 to 2. When x is between 1 and 2, y is equal to 1. Between 1 and 2, it is equal to 1. Inclusive at 1, exclusive at 2. Inclusive at 1, exclusive at 2. Between 0 to 1, it is 0. Between 0 to 1, it is 0. So filled at 0 and empty at 1. Between -1 to 0, it is -1. Between -1 to 0, it is equal to -1. Again, same thing. Between -2 to -1, it is -2. Between -2 to -1, it is -2. And again, empty at -1, filled at -2. So are these stairs clear? And the most important thing is the reason that why filled circle at lower value and empty circle at higher value. Ye clear hai? Because we always look for the nearest integer towards left. So that is why left side will be filled and right side will be empty. Clear, Arav? Of a real value. So first of all, I'll teach you everything that we need to know about domain of a real valued function. Once you say yes, sir, now we have understood it completely, then only I'm going to move to the next topic. तो जब तक आप सब ये नहीं कहोगे कि सर समझ आ गए, तब तक मैं आपको पकाता रहूं. Literally. Domain. By domain we mean values of x for which fx is defined. Defined, that is, it exists, it is unique, it is finite. So by domain we mean, domain means set of first values. देखो, domain of range को define करने के दो ways हैं, depending on whether the function or the relation is given in rostered form or as a definition. अगर हमें set of ordered pairs की form में given है, तब तो बहुत easy है domain और range को लिखना. What is domain? Set of first elements, range, set of second elements. But if a function is given like fx is equal to x minus 1 upon x plus 2, अगर ऐसे given है, अब यहाँ पे तो हमें नहीं पता set of first elements क्या है, set of second elements क्या है, then how to get domain? So for real valued function, the easiest definition, time है अभी. So the easiest way to get the values of the domain of a function is values of x for which fx is defined. अब इसका क्या मतलब हो, values of x for which fx is defined? जैसे अगर आप ये जो ऊपर फंक्शन लिखा है बोर्ड पर, अगर उसमें x की जगह कोई भी वैल्यू पुट अप करो, आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी. लेकिन एक ऐसी वैल्यू है जिसको रखते ही सब गड़बड़ है. Can you guess what will be that value? नहीं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी. अगर आप 1 रखोगे तो 0/3, आंसर विल बी 0. 0 आप रख लो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आंसर विल बी -1/2. कुछ भी रख लो आप. Very good, I'm proud. In place of x, if we write -2, the moment we write -2, this will take a not defined form. Am I clear with it? So can we assume or can we conclude that this function will exist for all the values of x except -2? So the domain of this function will be all real numbers except -2, because for no other value this function will take a not defined form. मैं समझा पाया नहीं? आया समझ में? Values, नमन बहुत आसान है, देखो थोड़ा सा आगे समझ आपको, जल्दी से मुझे बताओ फिर. All values of? नहीं. All values of x for which fx is defined. यहाँ पर fx defined होगा for all other values except at -2. So see the presentation. Clearly, fx is defined when x plus 2 is not equal to 0, because denominator should not be equal to 0. Then only it will be defined. That means x is not equal to minus 2. So domain of this function, domain of fx will be all real numbers except minus 2. So this is how we write all real numbers except minus 2. Clear this thing? क्या दिख रहा तुम? एक सेकंड मैं रिकॉर्डिंग बंद करता हूँ पहले. Now, what about this one? देखो, basically fraction वाले questions के लिए एक trick देता हूँ, एक cheat code देता हूँ. The denominator should never be 0. It will be defined if the denominator is not equal to 0. So simply, clearly, fx is defined when x square minus 7x plus 12 is not equal to 0. Is it clear? क्योंकि अपॉन में 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. फ्रैक्शन रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन में ये इजीएस्ट वे होता है. There should not be 0 in the denominator. So this will mean x minus 3, x minus 4 should not be equal to 0. This means x is not equal to 3 and x is not equal to 4. X should neither be equal to 3 nor be equal to 4. So what will be the domain of this function? All real numbers except 3 and 4. You can put anything in place of x, but not 3 or 4. Right? Clear? बोलो बोलो बोलो. पता है जितनी अच्छे से क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग के कुछ चीजें क्लियर होती हैं उतनी यार मैं समझा रहा हूँ यार. कीप योर माउथ शट. रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन यार. Done? अब मैं थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्टी लेवल इंक्रीज करूँ. देखो रूट ऑफ x minus 1 कब डिफाइंड होगा fx यहाँ पर? Remember, fx is a real valued function. It should have only real values. कुछ लोगों ने कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर अभी नहीं कहना है यहाँ पर. थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है, बट मैं समझा दूंगा. I'll explain. जिन लोगों ने कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स किया हुआ है वो तो बोले रियल वैल्यूड फंक्शन. 0 मतलब सब जगह रख दिया नॉट इक्वल टू 0, नॉट इक्वल टू 0. नेगेटिव कैसे करते यार अभी यहाँ पे. That means if this is a real valued function, it should not be negative. देखो अगर स्क्वायर रूट में कोई भी नेगेटिव नंबर आ रहा है, then it is not real, right? It is non-real. A negative number within root is non-real. Now because it is a real valued function, so it should always be positive. Clear? तो अब एक और चीट कोड. पहला वाला हमारा क्या था? अगर फ्रैक्शन रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है, we put up denominator not equal to 0. You put up denominator not equal to 0. For square root related questions, simply the internal value should be positive. Great. Shaurya, this is specially for you. Where do you see such symbols, Shaurya? जल्दी बताओ, टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा है. मतलब कुछ चीजें प्रोहिबिटेड जो होती हैं उनके लिए ऐसे वाले सिंबल्स यूज करते हैं ना. अच्छा, ओके ओके ओके, समझ तो गए थे आप. स्पेशली इसीलिए आपके लिए बताया. तो ये दो चीजें प्रोहिबिटेड है. व्हाट आर दीस टू थिंग्स? For numerator upon denominator, that is for fraction related questions, denominator should not be equal to 0. For square root based questions, negative form. These two are prohibited. These two are prohibited forms. Right? अब देखो, ये हमेशा positive होना चाहिए. So write clearly, fx is defined when x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. It can be 0 because square root of 0 is 0. So can we say that x is greater than or equal to 1? All values which are greater than or equal to 1. So what will be the domain? Interval form में लिखना है इसको, बताओ. सेट में जो पढ़ा था हमने, interval form. Come on. As simple as that. Because x is a real number, it can be any real number, and for all real numbers, we can write the set in the form of an interval. So all the values between 1 to infinity. Right? और आप देखो क्रॉस चेक भी कर सकते हो. नोएडा देखो. In place of x, if you write the value which is less than 1, say for example हम 0 put up करके देखते हैं, तो 0 minus 1 -1, square root of a negative number is imaginary. और इसके beyond आप कोई भी वैल्यू पुट अप करके देख लो, 2 पुट अप कर लो, 2 minus 1, square root of 1 पॉजिटिव. राइट? कोई प्रॉब्लम इसमें? श्योर, जल्दी से नोट करो. बेसिकली यही दो फॉर्म्स हैं जिसकी हमें डोमेन और रेंज फाइंड करनी है. इज इट क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू? ऑनलाइन कोई डाउट नहीं पूछ रहा है आज? Is it clear?
Sir, it's clear. Yes, sir.
नंदिनी, यशस्विनी, किसी को कोई डाउट नहीं पूछना है. रुद्र प्रताप सिंह, आपको को जॉब है.
Sir, it is clear.
Clear. Okay.